and we can't wait to bring you more exciting and thought-provoking content in the future. Until next time, keep the spirit of the King alive, and remember, the legend of Elvis Presley is far from over. So what are your thoughts on this? Sound off in the comments section down below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for celebrity news and updates every day. What if Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, never truly left us? Imagine a world where the most iconic musician of his era traded the spotlight for the pulpit, quietly living a life of faith. Today, we dive into the mystery that has captured the imagination of countless fans. The striking resemblance between Pastor Bob Joyce, a humble gospel preacher, and Elvis Presley, the legendary musician who supposedly passed away in 1977. Could it be that Elvis chose to step away from the pressures of fame to live a simpler, more meaningful life? Stay tuned as we unravel the clues, coincidences, and compelling evidence that Pastor Bob could no longer keep hidden. This story might just make you question everything you thought you knew. 5. Setting the scene. Pastor Bob Joyce is not your typical preacher. Known for his calm demeanor and deep passion for gospel music, he has led his congregation with a unique warmth and humility. His heartfelt sermons and soulful hymns resonate with everyone who listens, making him a beloved figure in his community. But there's more to Pastor Bob than meets the eye. For years, whispers have circled about an uncanny resemblance between this quiet pastor and one of the world's most famous performers, Elvis Presley. These rumors aren't based on idle speculation, but on details that are hard to ignore. Take a closer look, and the physical similarities between Pastor Bob and Elvis Presley become striking. Both share a strong facial structure marked by prominent cheekbones and expressive eyes that seem to hold countless stories. Even their smiles, gestures, and subtle mannerisms align in ways that have left fans baffled. For instance, Pastor Bob has been observed scratching his left ear in a peculiar way, an oddly specific habit that Elvis was known for. These small but telling traits have fueled a growing belief that the two might be more connected than anyone could have imagined. But it's not just their appearance that has people talking. Their shared love for gospel music creates an even deeper connection. Gospel held a special place in Elvis Presley's heart, and some of his most memorable performances were rooted in this genre. Pastor Bob shares that same passion, pouring his soul into each hymn he sings. When he leads his congregation in song, there's an emotional intensity and warmth that feels almost familiar to those who remember Elvis's gospel performances. It's a shared devotion to music that touches the hearts of their audiences, creating a bond that transcends time. As these details come together, the parallels become difficult to dismiss. Could it be a coincidence, or is there something more to the story? What about the timing, the habits, and the voice? Each clue draws us closer to an answer, but the most intriguing evidence is still to come. In the next section, we'll explore the timeline and uncover the curious gaps that leave fans convinced there's a hidden truth waiting to be revealed. 4. Building the mystery. The timeline of events adds a compelling layer to this mystery. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, was declared dead on August 16, 1977. Leaving the world mourning the loss of a cultural icon. Just a few years later, in the early 1980s, Pastor Bob Joyce emerged as a humble gospel preacher, captivating his congregation with heartfelt sermons and deeply moving hymns. For those who believe in the theory, this gap of a few years wasn't just a coincidence. It was a period of transformation. They argue it allowed Elvis to step away from the public eye, adopt a new identity, and begin a simpler, quieter life. One of the most striking pieces of evidence lies in their voices. Elvis Presley's voice was legendary, deep, soulful, and instantly recognizable. Fans have noted that Pastor Bob's voice carries an uncanny resemblance to the King's iconic tone. Whether he's preaching or singing gospel, there's a familiar warmth and resonance that echoes Elvis's unique style. Side-by-side comparisons of recordings have only fueled the intrigue, with many listeners struggling to tell the two apart. It's a similarity that goes beyond coincidence, sparking endless debates among believers and skeptics alike. The physical similarities are equally hard to ignore. From their shared height and build to distinct features like strong hands and prominent cheekbones, the parallels are striking. Fans have even pointed out small details like the way Pastor Bob scratches his left ear, an odd yet unmistakable habit that Elvis was known for. It's these subtle quirks, combined with their physical traits, that leave many convinced the two men are one and the same. While it might seem far-fetched to some, those who've followed the evidence find these connections impossible to dismiss. Then there's the musical connection, which deepens the intrigue. Gospel music was a cornerstone of Elvis Presley's life and career. Even at the height of his fame, he often returned to gospel as a source of comfort and inspiration. Similarly, Pastor Bob's ministry is steeped in gospel traditions, and his performances carry the same heartfelt passion that Elvis was known for. The shared love for this genre forms a bridge between their lives, suggesting a continuity that is hard to explain away. But is this connection proof of a hidden truth, or just a series of uncanny coincidences? In the next section, we'll delve into the most compelling evidence yet, exploring why so many believe Pastor Bob Joyce could no longer hide the truth about his past. Third, delving deeper, fans have gone to extraordinary lengths to analyze every aspect of Pastor Bob Joyce's life, searching for clues that connect him to Elvis Presley. One detail that stands out is Pastor Bob's use of a guitar style strikingly similar to the one Elvis often favored during his gospel performances. Observers have noted how his posture, movements, and playing technique echo the King's iconic stage presence. It's not just about the music, but the way he connects with his audience, deeply personally and with undeniable passion. This resemblance has only fueled speculation, especially given Pastor Bob's decision to avoid directly addressing the rumors, which many interpret as an intentional choice to keep the mystery alive. Adding to the intrigue is a controversial theory involving Elvis Presley's supposed escape from fame. Some believe the King staged his death with the help of the FBI, a notion supported by rumors of a secret operation referred to as Project Blue Suede. According to this theory, Elvis had become entangled in situations that made it dangerous for him to remain in the public eye. Faking his death was not just an act of self-preservation, but a way to start fresh, far from the pressures of his stardom. While skeptics dismiss these claims as fanciful, believers point to inconsistencies in the official accounts of Elvis's death as evidence that something larger was at play. For those who embrace the theory, the idea of Elvis seeking a quieter life makes sense. Imagine living under the constant spotlight, with every move scrutinized and every moment captured. For decades, Elvis was one of the most recognizable figures on the planet, his every action followed by a legion of fans and the relentless media. Many argue that after years of this exhausting lifestyle, he might have chosen to trade fame for peace. Becoming Pastor Bob Joyce, a man dedicated to faith and community, would have provided him with a chance to connect with people in a more meaningful and fulfilling way. This theory taps into a deeply human desire for reinvention, a longing to leave behind the burdens of one life to embrace another. Could Pastor Bob truly be the king of rock and roll in disguise, finding solace in a role far removed from his former self? The idea is captivating, and the evidence continues to build. But the most surprising clues lie not in the music or the mannerisms, but in a deeply personal detail that fans believe reveals the truth. In the next section, we'll explore this shocking piece of evidence and why it has left even skeptics questioning everything. 2. The turning point. One of the most compelling elements tying Pastor Bob Joyce to Elvis Presley is their voices. Fans who have studied recordings of both men are struck by the uncanny similarity in tone, cadence, and emotional depth. Elvis's voice was instantly recognizable, a soulful mix of warmth and power that defined his performances. Pastor Bob's voice carries that same resonance, whether he's delivering a sermon or singing gospel hymns. Side-by-side comparisons have revealed striking overlaps, from the way they emphasize certain words to the unique richness of their vocal range. For many, hearing Pastor Bob feels like listening to Elvis in a new, quieter role, a voice unmistakably linked to the King's legacy. Another surprising similarity lies in a detail most wouldn't consider: dental structure. Photographs of Pastor Bob and Elvis reveal an alignment of their teeth that's nearly identical, right down to a subtle gap that Elvis famously corrected later in life. Fans have pored over images, pointing out the parallels and claiming this small but specific feature is undeniable proof of a shared identity. It's the kind of detail that seems too peculiar to be a coincidence. And for believers, it's yet another puzzle piece falling into place. But perhaps the most profound connection isn't physical, it's emotional. Elvis was a man who struggled deeply with the pressures of fame, yearning for peace and simplicity away from the spotlight. Pastor Bob's calm and introspective demeanor feels like a continuation of that search for serenity. Both men convey a sense of humility and spirituality that resonates with their audiences, offering kindness and inspiration in their messages. This emotional thread connects them on a level beyond mere appearance or sound, painting a picture of a man who found solace in faith after the chaos of celebrity life. These shared traits, voice, appearance, and emotional resonance, are difficult to dismiss. They suggest a narrative of transformation, of a man stepping away from fame to embrace a life of meaning and purpose. But what truly cements this theory for so many isn't just what we can see or hear. It's the shared essence of these two men. Could it be that Elvis Presley found a second chance in Pastor Bob Joyce? As the evidence mounts, a shocking revelation awaits that might finally tip the scales. In the next section, we'll dive into the most debated aspect of this mystery, one that could change everything. The shocking truth revealed. Pastor Bob Joyce has never directly addressed the swirling rumors about his connection to Elvis Presley, but his cryptic statements often leave people wondering if there's more to his story. When questioned, he speaks about the importance of faith, living with integrity, and finding purpose in life. These responses, while seemingly unrelated to the rumors, often feel like subtle hints rather than outright denials. His words carry a sense of calm confidence, as if he's encouraging people to focus less on identity and more on the values that truly matter. Yet for those seeking answers, his reluctance to confirm or deny the speculation only adds to the intrigue. The idea that Pastor Bob might be the king of rock and roll reinvented is captivating for many reasons. Elvis Presley's life was marked by extraordinary fame, relentless attention, and a deep personal struggle to find peace. The transformation into Pastor Bob, a man of humility, faith, and purpose, seems almost poetic. It's a story of reinvention, one that suggests a man could leave behind the weight of celebrity and step into a life of deeper meaning. For fans, this possibility is both hopeful and fascinating, offering a narrative where their beloved icon found the peace he so desperately sought. But is this transformation possible? Could Elvis Presley, a global icon, truly walk away from his life and re-emerge as Pastor Bob Joyce? The evidence, from physical similarities to shared habits and mannerisms, is compelling, but the truth remains elusive. As viewers piece together the clues, the question lingers. Is this merely a series of coincidences, or has Pastor Bob been quietly carrying a legacy far greater than anyone imagined? It's a mystery that continues to captivate and divide, leaving everyone eager to uncover what might lie beneath the surface. Now, what do you think? Could Pastor Bob truly be the king of rock and roll, or are these just remarkable coincidences? I want to hear from you. Share your thoughts, theories, and opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that keep you questioning, wondering, and discovering. Your voice is part of this conversation. Let us know where you stand. This video was made possible thanks to your various forms of support. Simply watching it is a contribution to creating more content. And of course, there are those who contribute even more by using the thanks feature or by clicking the join button and becoming a VIP member, who also play a significant role. So what are your thoughts on this? Sound off in the comments section down below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for celebrity news and updates every day. What if the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, left behind a secret that has gone unnoticed for decades? A hidden son who might still be living among us. Today we dive deep into one of the most captivating mysteries surrounding Elvis's legacy. A story that has fans across the globe asking, is Bob Joyce Elvis's son? With his striking vocal resemblance to the legendary Elvis and an uncanny timeline that seems to align perfectly with fan theories, Bob Joyce has become the center of endless speculation. Could this be the shocking truth we've all missed? Stick around because this story is far more complex and far more surprising than you might expect. Setting the stage, Elvis Presley wasn't just a singer, he was a phenomenon, a cultural icon whose impact transcended music and defined an era. From his groundbreaking performances to his undeniable charisma, Elvis became a legend whose influence remains as powerful today as it was during his lifetime. Fans continue to celebrate every aspect of his life, from his meteoric rise to fame to the intimate details of his personal world, including the legacy he left behind. But with such an enduring fascination comes speculation, rumors, and theories, some grounded in truth, others in imagination. Among the most intriguing of these mysteries is the question, could Elvis have had a son no one knew about, whose identity has only recently come to light? Enter Bob Joyce, a pastor with a remarkable singing voice that bears an uncanny resemblance to Elvis Presley's. Beyond his vocal talent, Bob Joyce has captured the attention of Elvis fans worldwide for his physical likeness to the king and a life timeline that has led many to wonder about a deeper connection.